next guest may not need as much introduction in Zimbabwe, but I will attempt to do an introduction as well. So Dr. Talkmore Maruta is currently the Senior Biosafety and Biosecurity Officer at the Africa CDC. Now, when you look at his background, he has a background as a medical laboratory scientist. And then he went on with his education to get a master's and a PhD in public health. He's worked with organizations like CHI and FIND and the Botswana HIV, Botswana Harvard HIV Partnership, the East Central and Southern Africa Health Community, and has really advanced public health, disease surveillance, and emergency preparedness across Africa. Talkmore hails originally from Zimbabwe. Currently, he's in Zambia. In addition to this, I know Talkmore as a colleague professionally, and I consider him a friend. And Talkmore has the gift of very eloquent and inspiring speaking as well. And as I was thinking of not being bound by geography, I thought it would be very encouraging today to hear some words from our other colleagues. So Talkmore, the same question: how does quality apply to your professional life today? How did you get excited about it? And give us some words of wisdom. So thank you so much for coming and joining us today, Talkmore.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having time to listen to me. I hope the sessions that you have been doing have been going very well. One thing I can assure you, we are in very safe hands with Barbara and Katie, and I'm talking from experience. So let me start by just thanking you, Barbara, Katie, and Anna Murphy. I'm not sure if she's with you, but these are some of our grandmothers that we speak about when we talk about quality, and for being the brains behind some of the transformative programs that have gone through Africa when it comes to quality improvement. So maybe just to speak about a little bit about how maybe quality improvement has impacted my life, both professionally as well as socially. Just to refer to what a gentleman called Helmut once said, he said, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, meaning that there's always room for improvement, and this is the basis and the backbone for quality improvement. In my life, I've tried to never feel comfortable with where I am. I strongly believe that where I am is because I've improved from where I was, meaning the now is an opportunity to create yet another improvement. So to always invest in getting better. I recall 17 years ago, I had a very life-changing reflection at a place where I was working. I remember we were about 40 to 45 of us, and I asked myself one question one morning, that if someone was to come to this place and they would like to recruit maybe one person for a higher or a better position, where will I be in the queue for those who can qualify for that position? So I arranged the 45 of us with in a queue in my mind. And I realized that I was not making the top 10. So I decided that I needed to do something about it at that time. I needed to go back to the basics and having to improve not just my life, but also my professional life. Secondly, when I also look at in quality improvement, you always say measurement is the first step that leads to control and eventually to improvement. If you can't measure something, it means you can't understand it. And if you can't understand it, it means you can't control it. And if you can't control it, it means you can't improve it. So quality improvement has really taught me that you need to record and track what you do. Just to reflect on what I did this morning when I woke up, I sat on my desk, and the first thing I did was to write down what I want to do today. I reviewed what I said I would do yesterday, and then I perused over my projection for the week. In a way, I documented what I wanted to do yesterday, I checked it today, and I also put down what I want to do tomorrow as a way of always checking my progress and seeing whether I am improving or I'm not improving. So one thing that quality improvement has taught in my life, professional life, is that you always need to track what you are doing. So it's not all about I'm doing something, but you need to, at the end of the day, be able to say, this is how much I have achieved, this is where I failed to achieve, and this is where I'm supposed to. So really quality improvement has showed me, has helped me professionally to be better organized in my life. Over to you, Barbara.
Barbara, you're muted.
Technology.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Talkmore. You always do inspire me. So how did you decide to become interested in QI? What kind of prompted you?
In life, Barbara, there's always that person who inspires you. I was fortunate to work with a great friend of mine, Dr. Skulile Moyo, who was then the quality manager at the Botswana Harvard Reference Lab. With him, I sometimes he would sometimes just call me to sit in his office and to just watch and listen to the telephone conversations that he'll be having with the people in the lab. And I also remember one day he asked me to carry his laptop back to a meeting that he was having with the National AIDS Council, where he was presenting to the directors from the Ministry of Health. And he was presenting on the role the lab plays when it comes to HIV response, and how it ensures that there's quality of results in the HIV program. As I was sitting there, it dawned to me how quality improvement was the driving force behind all this research that I've been doing, all this research that we've been doing, the clinical work that was going on. So I initially just started as his messenger boy. So I would move around, volunteer, to go around in the lab collecting all this quality improvement data from him, from the different departments, the quality control results, checking on people on his behalf, the results had been sent, so forth. So the next thing I found myself, I was part of the quality team in the lab. And from there, the rest is just history. So in life, sometimes you do not have to wait for opportunities, but to create these opportunities for yourself. I realized that quality improvement was the avenue for me to make a difference in my career. Over to you.
Wow. Wow. That's fabulous. Talk more words of wisdom for the participants here. We've, sometimes we're so in the weeds of the project, we forget to sort of think about the bigger picture. So what words of wisdom do you have for us as we're learning more about quality improvement?
And if I may chime in, talk more,
Yes.
Even before COVID-19, Zimbabwe just had been facing so many challenges. Implementation was just so difficult. And now adding that COVID-19 on top of that. So I think your inspirational words will be particularly be helpful here. So thank you. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. I think the story that I sometimes tell is a story that some people may find also inspiring if they are in difficult situations and conditions, as we have described. If I recall some years back, it's no longer a few years now, around 2010, when I was invited to one of your programs, Katie and Barbara, the Slamter TOT. I remember arriving in that room, and I had been one of those extra participants. So I was sitting right at the back of the room next to the trainers. I did not have a training manual. I did not have a name tag. But little did I know that that was going to be a life-changing experience. I recall during those 2 weeks with my colleague, Mr. Ndlovu, who is now the Chief Executive Officer for ASLM, we made a declaration, and we called it the Johannesburg Declaration, where we agreed that this program that we were going through which is what we're missing when it comes to implementing structured quality improvement in laboratories or in health systems in general. And we made a commitment that whatever it is that we had, little as it was, we were going to take everything we had to make sure that we can be able to implement this program. And when we started, initially it was slow, but you know, when you invest in change and you document and you track your change, the results always speaks for themselves. And this is what, when I realized that quality improvement was actually worth our time, despite some of the limitations, the resources that we had at that time. From there on, I think quality improvement has taken us to many places that probably I never dreamt of. It has made me step into more than 25 countries in Africa, landed me in the shores of the Caribbean, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas, Haiti, you name them. Gave me the opportunity to meet with very high people, speaking to permanent secretaries, speaking to ministers of health, talking about quality improvement. So I think where you are sometimes, it sort of make you like a horse, which is only allowed to see where it is going. But in life, you sometimes have to think outside the box and think beyond the problems that you are seeing so that you can be able to move forward. Maybe as my last words of inspiration to my colleagues, I know hello, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes. It was giving me a message that I've been signed out. So just as probably my last words for inspiration to my colleagues that are in Zimbabwe, I know they are in a very difficult situation. And sometimes when you look at things, you think maybe these stories that are told are stories that are probably maybe not possible, given the situation that they are. But I've always tried to live on 3 basic principles in my life. One, first of all, just to, if you think of something that is important, try to do it yesterday. At the latest, try to do it today, and never say I'll do it tomorrow. Sometimes tomorrow, sometimes later becomes never, and you may end up not doing it. And I try to be that person who, when someone wants something to be done very quickly, they always have to look for it. So you have to sort of position yourself by way of I think how you conduct your business, by being organized and ensuring that the work that you do give results. Also, just to know that greater things never come from comfort zones. It's going to be hard, but hard is never, doesn't mean it's impossible. Some people always say it's always impossible until someone else has done it. Recently, I was talking again to my colleague, Mr. Dove, who I referred to, how we used to sleep on the benches of airports, how we used to drive 7 to 8 hours in foreign countries in public transport, how we used to meet our families at the airports to exchange bags because we are moving, sleeping at 3 a.m. so that you can be ready tomorrow at 7:45, sleeping in rooms where you have a stream of rainwater flowing under your bed because you're in a very remote, but all that today is a story. And this starts from where it is not comfortable. So great things, they never come from comfort zone. And never wait until everything is in place. All you need is enough to begin, and never be afraid of making mistakes. This is one of the greatest fears that we all have in life, fear of making mistakes. And this is the essence of quality improvement. You learn from your mistakes so that you can be able to improve. So I think it's always inspirational, I think, to hear people that are just like you, who have also managed to reach some heights. We can talk even about people that are from Zimbabwe there, the Edwin Shumvas, the Fabin Zombes, who are now program managers for international organizations. And they all started somewhere in very difficult conditions, but they also used this route of quality improvement in their workplaces to be where they are. Hopefully this may help someone who is listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Talkmore. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your obviously very busy schedule to come and share a few words of inspiration. And always, I could listen to you all day, Talkmore. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. So everyone, let's give a round of applause for Dr. Dr. Talkmore. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Talkmore. It's so good to see you.
Yes, thank you very much, Katie. Good to see you too.
And take a quick look at the chat box. People feel inspired.
Oh, I'll do that before I log off.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, here. Wow, thank you for the inspiring words. Wow, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Soaring high. Thanks, Dr. Talkmore. Great stuff. So lots of appreciation. So really, very, very much appreciate having you join us today.
Thank you so much, Talkmore.
We're inspired.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And good luck for the rest of your program. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Well, I'm inspired, very inspired after hearing those two speakers, and just thrilled that they took the time to join us and share with us. And just fabulous to hear how this road of quality improvement spills, it's in your workplace, but it spills over to your entire life. So very, very inspiring words.